Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sedona International Film Festival. I'm your host, Carol Kahn, and we are coming to you live on Facebook as well as the Sedona Performing Arts Center. And I'd like to introduce to you Omete. Omete.
Yes.
Omete, your name is so interesting.
Thank you.
I want to hear where did that come from?
So I'm from Houston, Texas, but my parents are from Kenya, and it's actually my mother's maiden name. So it's a name that gets passed on through because I guess the original Omete was born under a tree. So Omete translates to tree, and so the name just kind of keeps passing down. And if I were to pass on the tradition, I would make it my daughter's last name so that she could pass it on to her son for the first name, and it would keep going in that direction.
Oh wow, that is really interesting.
Yeah, right. I used to lie and tell people like tree because nature and like because I'm well rooted, and then I found out no, he was just born under a tree. That's also cool. That's also okay. We're keeping the name. I don't have to spice it up in my own way, but yeah.
It is kind of spicy.
Yeah, it comes with its own spice for sure.
So you were in the movie The Wave. Tell us a little bit about the film.
Yeah, so Waves is about a deaf black teen who's going to prom and has a big old afro and wants to cut it down for his prom date. But the black barbershop experience is a very particular experience, and being deaf kind of puts you, I guess, at a disadvantage of immediately connecting with the barbers, with the other people waiting to get a haircut. So it's just a particular story about a deaf black boy having to, deal with something that seems, I guess, mundane to someone like myself, Omete, who would just walk into the barbershop, ask for a haircut, and everything would be fine. But for him, it's such a challenge because, he's trying to initially hide the fact that he's deaf and, just really get through the experience the best way he can. So, yeah.
So what I think was interesting in the film, though, was that the barber in the film was sort of new, and they were making fun of him being new and that he didn't know what he was doing. And then the other characters were trying to discourage you from sitting in that seat, but you did it anyway.
Yeah. And I think it's so interesting that even just watching it, I found, even though I've seen it 100 times, I found that it's interesting that the rookie barber's arc has to do with him, listening to his client, and not, I guess buying into the bravado of, I'm a great barber, I can do this, that, and the third. But being a great barber is about, making sure that your client walks away pleased and satisfied. And what, Otto, my character, needed as a client was to be heard, and for the noise to kind of quiet down, so to speak. So I love kind of them finding that together, and both of them kind of developing into a next level of themselves together. It was a good ride. It was a great ride.
That's awesome. So I think what's interesting of your background, did you go to school and you studied neuroscience?
I did.
Correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. How'd you guys? I did. Yeah. Is that what you meant? Yeah, I studied neuroscience in school. Not thinking that they would be connected, but just loving how the brain works. And really it started off with dreams. I was really interested with why we had dreams, and there's not a clear-cut answer for that, which I thought was really cool, and there's still so much developing in neuroscience. But then I just started to kind of really enjoy the fact that you and I have the exact same, I guess, biological structure of our brains, but we're so different, and like how does nature walk into that? And then as I was into it while also doing acting on the side, I started to kind of realize how that kind of can lend to my acting, because when I jump into a script like Waves and play a character like Otto, he's very different from me. And how is that when we have, I guess the same brain, but, trying to figure out all those factors that lend to those personality differences. And, if the building falls right now, we'd all react a different way, and that's so cool to me. Why is that, So asking those questions, I could ask those in my acting classes and in my neuroscience classes and get answers that, feed each other, which I thought was really amazing. So I can't say I did it on purpose, but along the way, I found the overlap, and it, really ended, satisfied me for sure.
So you're definitely working both sides of your brain.
Yeah. Definitely trying to make sure that, we get the artistic side as much as we can, which I think is hilarious that that was my first question, about the left and the right side. And my neuroscience teacher, without being nice at all, was just like, hey, that's a myth. Like, there's not a right and a left side of the brain. But I don't know. I think it makes it easier for me to conceptualize it that way, for sure.
So do you think moving forward, just with the knowledge that you have, that you might be working on films that have something to do with neuroscience?
I love that. Yeah. Dr. Ken, or Ken Jeong, is one of my greatest influences, because he also went to medical school for a doctor and then became a comedian and an actor, and he ended up being on a TV show where he got to play a doctor. So that would be, I'd really enjoy that. But even if I don't, I think trying to find the neuroscience in every character I play, I think is a very difficult but like rewarding task, and I'm very interested to see how far I can take that, and if I hit a dead end or if there's something to see there, So I'm happy to have both sides of it for sure.
Well, I definitely saw that in this particular film. I mean, you definitely got into the character.
Thank you. I appreciate
you did that very well.
Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you so much.
You're so cute.
Your compliments are like, I'm welling. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Well, tell us when the film is going to be shown.
The film is being shown tonight at the festival at 7 p.m. We had a screening also 2 days ago on Sunday, or what was it? What's today? What am I doing? Saturday at 1 p.m., which had a great reception, and I really love what everybody's selecting from it, and everybody seems to really feel for Otto, which I really love and want him to win and want the rookie barber to win. So we're showing tonight at 7 p.m. and I'm excited to see, just how people receive it. It seems like everybody is taking it in their own way, which is, I think, the best kind of way. I don't think you want everybody to receive it the same way. Everybody's picking a piece of the story that they really resonated with, and I'm loving hearing, what stood out to people. So I'm excited for that tonight, for sure.
Awesome. And your hair looks wonderful. So
Thank
whoever...
you. Thank you. Definitely.
You're just going to keep coming back. I think you're just going to hang out here, right?
Yeah, I need to go find that rookie barber maybe and cut it back and then grow it again, just
I think it looks
doing
great.
the changes.
It looks perfect.
Thank you so much.
You definitely have a wave in your personality.
Yes, thank you so much. I try every morning.
Well, it's awesome. It's so nice to meet you, and it's good having you here for the festival.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
Thanks, and I'm going to watch you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, we'll be back with more from the Sedona International Film Festival after this.